Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Terraformers, Episode 2, the Tutorial, Part 2. Unfortunately for me, there's absolutely nothing for George to do because I'm out of power entirely, so I can't explore this turn. And there's no rocks to break down, so I can't do earthworks, so skip. Now, skipping, if I don't perform an action, ending the turn will convert this action into 10 support. So I still get support as a result, even when skipped. So as you can see, 453 plus 6 would be 459, but I'm actually going to go up 16, not 6. So 469 instead. I'm going to go with the Entertainment Center. And with that Entertainment Center, I will probably put it here, so that we start producing even more support for the headquarters. And then as I put habitation modules on either side, even more benefit. Now, let's go ahead and buy science instead of water. And again, I have nothing left to do, so I'm going to go with the bonus support, because I don't have enough power to explore. As I said at the beginning, power is a huge bottleneck, and that's why I went the tritium and the power generation and the photovoltaics and the windmill, and even doing all of that, I'm still basically out of power. I could import power from Earth, which is weird because, you know, who would ever do that? But it's easy enough to just wait for it and generate it ourselves. So here, a new leader. Someone that specializes in robotics, which can make a drone hub for free, or animals. So I'm definitely not ready for animals, because animals require considerably more terraforming than I currently have, so I'm going to go robotics. And her specialization is increase your power production by 1 for every 6 power you start producing. So here's an exhaust processor. +1 silicates for every 3 mines owned by the city. Or an oxygen factory, which I'll probably go with. Again, this oxygen factory produces oxygen and atmosphere. Like I said, atmosphere is really easy to make in the game. Or a habitation module. I will go with Ox Factory. And then what we're really waiting on is science or titanium. So I'm going to use the exploration satellite to hit a big titanium node here. And I have discovered an exploration rover from the early 21st century. So I can either dismantle it for power, tritium, and science, or get a rover museum, which gives me support and science per turn. I'm going to go with the rover museum. And then here, I know what I'm going to build. I'm going to build the rover museum next turn for the support and science per turn. I've also hit the threshold to get a bacteria spreader. So, I'm going to build a drone hub for free and put it here. So drone hub is just +1 robots, which allows the city to expand once. And I'm going to expand it down here to put the bacteria spreader. And then my head's in the way, so I'm going to disappear here for a second. Boop. So down here, we have the life form button. So if I click spread bacteria, I can pick the bacteria that I have, this methanogentium, and pick a region where it would be allowed. So the region of Mike allows for it. And then you can also see at the top how many turns to cool down, which is a result of how far you are from the bacteria spreader. So if I try to spread somewhere very far away, like the other side of Mars, it's 15 turns, whereas if I spread directly on the tile where it's built is 11 turns. So here we go, spread to Mike. And now you can see the bacteria. And then if we pan over to the center of the zone, you can see that the methanogentium is producing heat per turn, and we can see some of the other stats. It's very dry, it's somewhat cold, it has very little oxygen. These are all indicators that I have a lot more terraforming ahead of me. But there you go. Alright, bringing my head back. Boop. I could actually, let's see. I generally don't do this live, but let me pan myself over a little bit so you can see maybe a bit better. Okay, that's it for this turn. And here is a space hotel. So this is the, I'm going to pick this not because I think it's smartest. I honestly think the tritium thermogenerator will be better. But the space hotel shows how space projects work. Cheers, Icarus. So a space project uses the same trade system, but instead of importing it from Earth, you send your resources that you own to space. So I'm going to take my 2 trade and send 2 titanium to this space hotel, which gives me support per turn. Currently, my support per turn is -5, so this will bring me up into +5. Let's see, what else can I build? I can do the Rover Museum now. So let's go over to Mike, drop the Rover Museum down, and now I have a neutral support change per turn. And Mike is now a completed city. I could destroy buildings in Mike to expand it further, but I'll probably just leave it alone. Oh man, I am so not generating power. Rough. Alright, let's try to add to our power grid, huh? So delivery drones adds robots and also gives adjacency population bonuses. So it's pretty handy. Rover exploration centers allows you to do some additional exploration on the planet's surface. So that's pretty handy as well. Why do I have so many silicates? I have 37 of them? Jesus. I'll take the rover. And I'm going to actually throw out the massive radio telescope. So this rover requires it requires titanium. So I'm going to start selling my silicates and importing titanium to be able to afford it. And then I am going to explore where there are titanium nodes, like here. And we'll try to get the rover exploration center as fast as I can. I'm also going to need to expand one of my cities so that I have another area to place it down. So, the minimum requirement for artificial bacteria is 1 oxygen, which I don't believe I have really anywhere. But that would give science per turn if the climate zone has a city. And then here, 1 titanium if I have at least temperature 1. So I'll take the titanium bacterium. And I'm going to pick up import methane from Titan as a space project. Now back down here, I can put a habitation module down and then expand the zone out. And I am going to expand to the canyon view. So I could either use my titanium to add comfort of living to Dutch. Dutch right now has neutral comfort of 0. Or to save up for the Rover Exploration Center, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use my exploration satellite to explore this node, which should have a lot of... Oh, 2? What a rip. I'll have enough titanium next turn, though. Or this turn. Huzzah! So here is the rover. And this gives me a rover that could do some exploration as well. The way this rover works is the closer it is, the closer the rover is to what you're exploring, the sooner it comes off cooldown. So the sooner you can use it next. And that aquifer just gave me a whole lot of power, which is great. So I'm up to 15 power now. Alright, the next project I want to save up for is the import methane from Titan. So I'm going to start sending my tritium up there instead of using it and trading it. We'll go with a luxury workshop. Alright, so the game is warning me now that I'm using up all my tritium. I have 0, I get 1 per turn, so I can only send 1 to import from Titan. So what I'm going to do instead is start sending food for the space hotel. And then, let's see, I'm going to search some tritium nodes. There we go. Now I found some tritium out there, so I can go back to sending all the tritium that I possibly can out there. One more thing that I could save up for is... God, why do I have so many silicates? So ridiculous. Oh, a Marsquake. So this Marsquake happened over here, and I don't believe anything... Oh, no, things got damaged. So my landing pad got damaged, and I need to spend 2 titanium to repair it, or otherwise it produces unhappiness. And then in Mike, we have the entertainment center got damaged, the headquarters got damaged, and the robot hut got damaged. And I just so happened to have all the materials required to repair it, which was convenient. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you lack the materials, and therefore it can be pretty unhappy to have damaged buildings long term. Well, all that titanium that I was saving up for is now gone. So let's go back to trying to search for as much as I can. And the research project I skipped over. So the development center allows you to research 1 extra project per turn, and to have 2 projects in reserve extra. So that's pretty handy. And then, yeah, let's go for it. I have a lot of science, so I might as well use it up. So coming down here, I'm going to stick this here. And that allows me to immediately pick up a second project, which I will pick up a CO2 factory. So here is a big choice to be made. A tech mogul wants us to, or is trying to sell us a nuclear oxygen factory, which produces 2 atmosphere and 2 oxygen per turn at the cost of 20 tritium. The issue is it also increases the radiation produced in the city and has a negative adjacency. So it's a really good way to terraform, but if you place it improperly, it can really piss people off, or just refuse and gain support. Because this is a tutorial, I'm going to take it. But that's something you have to be cautious about, because it could really make people unhappy. And I'm going to actually pass on both research projects that I got offered, getting 2 extra science. So let's go for titanium nodes. Here's 1. And here's another. That brings my titanium up to 11, which gives me access to build something fun. So I can build the robot hub to add robots and expand the borders of the city, or a CO2 factory, or a luxury workshop. I'm pretty good on support per turn, so I'm going to go with the CO2 factory to try to push the heat and the atmosphere of Mars up as high as I can. And then let's do a traditional exploration too. I'll go there. Okay. Public baths, bacteria spreader. I'll get another bacteria spreader. Okay, and I have enough now for the oxygen factory and the luxury workshop. So my support per turn is now 13, and I'm producing 3 heat, 1 oxygen, and 5 atmosphere per turn. Hey, Crimson. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, dude. Oh, puppy treats, like, redeemed so very long ago that I ignored. My fault. Hey, Yoda. Alright. So I'm about almost a third of the way to the goal of the tutorial. Let me try to get a little bit further. Race through this so that we can start doing the real science. So I'm about halfway to importing methane from Titan. And once we get that, we will hit the next tier of heat and atmosphere, which is pretty significant. There is not a lot of titanium nearby. Fine. I'm just going for the cheaper to collect close by. I also now have enough for a bacteria spreader, but I don't have a spot for it. So that's something I need to expand either Dutch or my starter city to be able to place it. I'm looking for anywhere that has a lot of titanium. There was nothing all that high. So one other thing that I could consider is creating a new colony like here in this crater so that I could build a titanium mine. That would be another way to sort of support the construction projects that I have going, or to use trade routes to import titanium. I have 10 power, so yeah, let's keep getting titanium. That's fine. One more titanium and I'll have the robot hub. And there goes that leader. Urban planning. So overwork to be able to lose support and get extra resources. And urban planning. Get 2 habitat modules and a skyscraper project for free. Or oratory. Who she can rally speeches and have cultural festivals. I'm going to go with the oratory. Alright, so my rover is ready to go, and I'm going to burn the rover. There we go. And that gives me enough to get the robot hub, which then expands Dutch by 2, and gives me the ability to put down a bacteria spreader. So then, with 2 bacteria spreaders, I have double the cooldown. So I'm going to do another heat bacteria. And I put it over here. So this is still producing heat per turn, but I don't have any colonies here, so the colonies themselves aren't really going to benefit from the heat. Then I'm going to have Hope here give a rally speech at Mike, because Mike's at maximum population. It's 10 support per population. So Mike here has a population of 1, 2, 3, plus 2 robots, so I should get 30 support out of this. And the temperature levels have increased to a new threshold, so I gain immediate 100 support. Now, I can produce extra titanium, tritium, water, silicates, and nitrates, or more food, power, and science. I'm going to do food, power, and science, because I don't produce a lot of the other stuff. I'm going to go with manufacturing industries, which doubles the amount I get from those top 3. So here's a train station. A train station negates these support penalties of distant locations by 2, so that's pretty powerful, and it also provides 2 or 4 expansions. So this project allows you to build a city very wide. Very powerful project. And then the spaceport allows you to have additional trade routes. I'm not going to go with train station and spaceport, because they kind of work together. I'd also like to, as soon as I'm done importing methane from Titan, to save up for the nuclear oxygen factory so that we can start pushing the oxygen up. In 2 turns, I'll be able to hit the atmosphere goal, though. That will be good. So I should be heading to tritium deposits so that I can afford the nuclear. I'll take a habitation module. So with this habitation module, this is the last slot that I'm going to have for Dutch. How many robots are in here? A few. So I could do division of labor, and that would give comfort of living and +1 comfort for every robot that's in the city. So it would increase Dutch's comfort considerably, but I think I'm going to save the last 4 slots for a train station and the nuclear oxygen factory. That's probably better use for it. Here's a tritium node. +4. So, I'm about to finish up importing methane from Titan, and I'm going to start shipping out food to the space hotel. And then Dutch can expand. So, I'm going to have a little bit of a mood penalty expanding, as you can see, to a distant rocky plain, but if I build a train station, it will remove that penalty. So I'm going to expand down here to this large nitrate deposit. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to expand towards this titanium. I think that would be even more useful. So we'll have a little frowny face for now, but that will go away this turn. So there we go. We just hit our atmosphere goals, and I can either take a tundra forest or an alpine forest. So the alpine forest requires 1 heat, 1 rainfall. I currently have 1 heat, 0 rainfall. And the tundra forest requires 1 rainfall. There is more support and more benefit, more prestige getting the alpine. So I'm going to go with alpine, because it's not that much harder than the alternative. So here I'm going to place the train station. Put that here. And that's going to give me a whole lot of expansions, 4 of them. And then also remove the distance penalties. So as you can see, I no longer have that distance penalty that I had before. Let's go for the aquifer too. Although that aquifer is going to be swamped pretty quickly, because it only has it gets submerged if the ocean rises to level 1. Then import methane from Titan. Done. And I've now completed the space project, and we're about halfway to completing the tutorial now. We're 141 out of 300. Alright, I would like to start... Oh, I have no power. I'd like to start saving up for that nuclear ox factory. But I think what would be wise if I start exploiting the aquifer and the nitrate deposit and the titanium deposit so that we gain more materials per turn. Oh, I also have bacteria to spread. So now we just spread the bacteria where Dutch is, and that should help to heat that up as well. So we're gaining 5 heat per turn. It's pretty good. Alright, Mr. Rover. What are the waves near some places? It means that once your water level hits the amount of waves, 1, 2, or 3, that the zone gets submerged unless you build a dike to stem the submerging. I should save my power to get a titanium mine next turn. So here's the titanium mine. And... I could extract the water for oceans at the aquifers instead of actually exploit the aquifers, and perhaps I do that. So what resources do I need right now? I need mostly titanium. And Backroad Runner, thank you for the resub. May your roads be ever clear. Alright, so Dutch is at max pop, I think. I don't think I'll be adding to it any further. I'm going to save to put the tritium thermo generator down because I'm pretty close to getting the nuclear generator instead. But I'll do a rally speech in Dutch. So this leader can only rally once per city. So it's... Well, now that I have both of these cities rallied, there's no more rallying to be done. And Mr. Jaren, thank you for the resub as well. Plant spreader. I don't want any of that. So 3 more turns and I'll have the tritium required unless I explore for it. So let's see if I can't hit some tritium. Oh, here we go. And got it. Nuclear. Oxygen generator, here we go. So adjacent populations gain -3 support per turn. And then the radiation generated in the city goes up by 1. The thing is, this city is a crater, so it has a natural +2. And then because I have atmosphere 1 on all of Mars, that gives radiation protection as well. So I don't need to worry about the radiation that this thing is generating. Well, I don't need to. Maybe the people in Dutch needs to, because, yeah, they're going to be the mutants. But that now increases the oxygen change to 3, up from 1. And then the atmosphere to 7, up from 5. So here's another choice. Celebrate past achievements, 20% support per population, or double the resource production this turn. The resources that I'm currently producing aren't the ones I really need, so I'm going to celebrate. And that gives me a whole lot of support here. Ooh, import hydrogen from a gas giant. So that's 50 atmosphere. I'm going to not do that, though. Let's pass on all 3. So what am I waiting? What am I saving up to next? I think it would be good if I extracted water from the oceans and saved up for the tritium thermogenerator. So I've extracted the water in that aquifer and added 10 water to my sea level, and I can do that one more time. No, yeah, one more time right here. Next turn when I have enough power. I'm also going to throw a cultural festival, so it burns 8 water, and it gives me 80 support. So now I have a lot of support. Because this leader here, Hope, is the support leader. She's the one that that builds a ton of it. Alright, so I'm looking for titanium still. Ever on the titanium hunt. Or the tritium hunt, for that matter. Oh, there's like power here. I'll get that. Extra power never hurts. Alright, so I have enough for another generator, which should not be built next to the habitation module. And then this last slot, I can add comfort to Dutch, putting the division of labor for +1 comfort for every robot in the city, bringing my comfort up to 4, bringing my support even higher. So now we have 2 maxed out cities. It'd be good for me to colonize another. The next thing to save up for would probably be a plant spreader, but I'm going to wait until... I'm going to wait to import that soil. No, I lied. I'm going to import that soil now, because we're very close to having the requirements for that. Oh, and my temperature level increased to level 2. So let's see if I can't explore to gain the remaining soil so that I can build that space hotel. Yep, there's soil here. Done. Nitrates, I should call it. And let's throw the plant spreader down. I'll put in this spot. So plant spreader is just like the bacteria spreader and allows you to spread the alpine forest. Now, the alpine forests require a minimum of 1 rainfall. You can have localized higher amounts of rain if you build things called cloud seeders. I don't have any cloud seeders, which means for me to put down my first alpine rainforest, I'm going to need to raise my rain sea level up to 1. So in order to do that, I can extract water from oceans. So I just need 10 more water extracted from oceans, and that probably means I'm going to have to colonize another town that is near an aquifer. So there is probably an aquifer here. Maybe one here or here. So I'll be exploring for that. Next up, Hong Tao, who does trade. I'll probably get him, or Anastasia, who's nationalistic. Yeah, let's go trade. Here is a space project that that protects everyone from, like, all cities from 1 radiation. I don't really need that because I've been building in craters. Here's the cloud seeder that I was talking about. So this produces the local zone by 2 rain. So if I grab that cloud seeder and slap that down anywhere in this zone, like let's put it here, then this zone here has a little extra rain, which means, oh, nope. This zone is not suitable because it lacks something else. So the alpine rainforests require 1 temp, 1 rainfall. So the rainfall here is -1. It started at -3, so I brought it up to -1. So that doesn't really help. But I can leave that cloud seeder because maybe as I increase the sea level, the cloud seeder will become useful. So let's look for other aquifers. Yep, there's one. So if I settle somewhere around here, I can exploit this aquifer and bring my water up to level 1. And there we go, a crater that I can colonize. So I'm going to be exploring the stuff around the crater so that I can colonize it. Because you need all of the adjacent tiles explored. So for that, I'm going to need 30 food, 5 water, which I have. So we'll have this colonized in no time. And then here's a animal spreader. So an Arctic rabbit requires 0 temp and 1 oxygen. So I'll take the animal spreader. And yeah, we'll get I'll get a research campus. Why not? And 1 more tile to explore before I can settle this crater. Oh, this crater has a lot of tile blockers, though. It's going to require a lot of power. I'm also done with the space hotels. I've been actually done with the space hotels kind of a few turns now. So there's that space project. I'm not going to bother doing the artificial magnetic field project. I don't really need it because I'm doing craters only. So what are we going to need? I'm going to sell my food for power because I have a lot of food and I have no power. So that seems like a wise trade. Oxygen levels went up, and I can either get a think tank, which is science and pop, research complex, or import water from Ceres. I'm going to import water from Ceres because that's going to allow me to get my water level up to level 1. I'm going to go with a development facility and an oxygen factory. So here we go. Founding the city. And this kicks off yet another giveaway. So good luck. And I'll put this there. I don't have enough power to remove any of the rocks that are in the way. So next turn, when I get a little bit more power, we'll go ahead and do that. And then import water from Ceres. I'm going to start sending the resources for that. How's the game? The game is a lot of fun. I'm very eager to see where it goes, like, development-wise. Because I think there's a lot more to be done for replayability, but it's already pretty replayable. Oof. Okay. Need more power. More power. Is there any power? Oh, yeah, there are power nodes here. Swanky. And I'm using his special ability to produce water, titanium, nitrates, and silicates and titanium out of nothing. Also, let's spread more bacteria. So down here in... Oh, Sheffield already has the bacteria. Mike has bacteria. Dutch has bacteria. So I'm going to start spreading it up here. Or maybe whatever the cooldown is shortest. There we go. And then spread some more. Good. So now we're up to 7 heat per turn, which is pretty good. I don't have anywhere to put plants or rabbits yet, though. Missed a puppy treat. My bad. Also, that raffle timer's just right over my face now. Because I moved where I am. I guess I'll fix it. 1 second. Nothing like fixing it live, right? So if you haven't entered the raffle yet, you've got about 2.5 minutes. Let me fix it for Yoda as well. And this is why I try to get this all set up beforehand. There we go. Biogenerator, homesteads, or think tank. I'll go biogenerator again. And pass on all those projects. So I wanted a miner's cottage, which every mine owned by the city increases support. And then I'll do a research campus here. And that allows me to spread twice. So if I have a miner's cottage, it would be wise to spread to the aquifers where I can actually build water mines. And my plant spreader is off cooldown, but there's nowhere to actually spread plants. There's nowhere valid, so there's nothing to do in that. Okay. Man, I need power so badly. Alright, there's one mine. And I'll be able to get the second water mine next turn. Alright, so now the miner's cottage provides 2 extra support per turn because of the 2 mines that I've added. And we are almost halfway to importing oceans from Ceres. We have exploration satellites, so let's explore. What do we really need? We need power. So there was another power exploration down here. Gave us a whopping 2 power. But hey, that's something. And then over here in Sheffield, we'll start clearing out some of the terrain blockers. Atmosphere is increased to 2. And I'm very close to finishing the tutorial now. So my little rover gains support. And that's the giveaway. So our last is the Rancid Ralph colony. Okay. Congrats, Ralph. Quite a name you've bestowed upon our colonists here. I'm going to put down a development center so I have more options. And put down an oxygen factory, because why not? And here's yet another research project that I am going to pass on. Waste incinerator, a spaceport, or a nitrogen gas factory. Spaceport, I guess. I don't really care. Domed park. Nice. So the Dome Park is a really good happiness adjacency. So that went from 12 to 28 support per turn, because everyone loves to live next to a giant domed park. I feel like it harkens back to like the ecologies of SimCity. And any minute now I should finish this up. So space tourism or mining, let's go mining. I really like getting mining early on because it's a really powerful leader. And I'll show you why in just a sec. So the last habitation model, I probably... Oh, wow. $2.99. I was going to say I was probably going to win off that, but I didn't. So mining is really powerful because what you could do is you could just mine resources. So if I wanted, let's say, nitrates, I could just click that. Boom. 11. Really, really, really good to be able to get the resources you need to expand. And we won. So that is the tutorial. I ended up with a whole lot of support, probably more than I needed, which means that I didn't really do this efficiently, but whatever. Winner, winner. MVP, thank you for the resub, by the way. Or Mass Convergence, or Weather Wizard, or whatever. Thank you for tuning in to the tutorial of Terraformers, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 3rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them, given that I am not a veteran of this game. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.